Well, it's been 2 months since we last gathered together on March 17th for corporate worship. March 17th is the last time we were able to gather together as a church body on a Sunday morning to celebrate the resurrection in our weekly gathering as we came together to hear God's word and to sing God's praises. Shortly after that, the coronavirus began to spread rapidly in other parts of the country, and our governor took precautions to begin to protect the people of South Carolina from the spread of this disease. Now, 2 months later, we can look back with hindsight and see many things that were done that could have been done differently, maybe things that we would have done differently if we were in charge. But nonetheless, it's been 2 months since we've been able to get together as a church family. Well, I would like to invite you to come back together as a church family on May 17th. On May 17th, we'll begin to gather again for the first time in 2 months to worship together. As we've said previously, we'll gather together in two smaller worship services, one at 9 and one at 11 o'clock. The sanctuary has been reset. We have seating basically following CDC guidelines for about 25% of our occupancy. That means there's seating available for about 50 or 55 people per service. We've asked you to fill out a survey indicating which service you would like to come to if we were able to do this. We encourage you to maintain that time slot if you would, so that we can make sure that we, if you will, budget room for enough people to be able to come and worship with us. You'll notice when you enter the sanctuary that the seats have been removed. You'll notice that there is approximately 6 feet between rows and only about 5 or 6 chairs per row. When you come into the sanctuary, feel free to wear a mask if that makes you feel more comfortable, or gloves. Our deacons and ushers will certainly be taking all necessary safety precautions. We won't be taking up an offering. There'll be an offering box at the door. We won't be passing out worship folders or sermon outlines. You can receive those via email. But come in, find a seat, make yourself at home, pick one row for you or your family. If you're coming single or just a couple of you, sit at one end of the row and encourage somebody else to sit at the far end. But bear in mind, this is not about returning to what was normal. This is about returning to church, so that we can gather together as we're encouraged in Hebrews chapter 10 to forsake not the gathering of the saints. We've done that. We've experienced the tribulations and trials of trying to worship remotely. Those days are over. So on May 17th, this coming Sunday at 9 o'clock and again at 11, please come prepared to worship, come prepared to maintain social distancing that we might keep one another safe, and then we'll continue to move forward from there. We're planning on having Wednesday night services beginning on May 20th. We'll limit those also to the number of people to keep the sanctuary and the crowd small. And then as time and situations permit, we'll eventually begin to add back in Sunday night. We'll begin to add back in children's activities and nursery. For the time being, though, we want to come together as a church family. So bring your family and let's prepare to worship May 17th at 9 and 11.